Hey everybody, welcome to build number 5. It is the end of our first week of build. I'm excited for today. We are going to be building power. So taking some stuff that we have done in the past, we'll have some thrusters, runner sit-ups, clean and press, some squat jumps and lunge jumps, but we're really going to try to add a little bit more intensity and drive and push and power behind each and every move. So our output should be a lot higher, and I'm excited to see how it all feels and how it all goes. So we're all going to be kind of in it together. Go ahead and stand at the back of your mat. Let's start with our arms coming all the way up. Deep inhale, pull your left arm across to the right. Feel that stretch all along that left side of the body through your lat. And then let's pull to the right. Drive it over. And then hinge forward over those legs. Let your arms just reach toward the ground. It's okay if you don't touch the ground. Bend your knees super deep. Kind of try to keep your heels on the ground. You should feel some stretch through the calves, bottom of the feet. Lengthen your back. And then drive your hips up. All right, and then let's walk our hands forward on the mat. We'll end up in a downward facing dog. Nice big spread open fingertips. You want to point your first finger and thumb, or first finger straight ahead, and then the thumb is really pressing into the ground as well. So you want to really focus on that thumb and first finger push into the ground, and then let's pedal out our feet. Drive the chest back toward the thighs. Check in with that core, your abdomen. Deep inhale and exhale, and then go ahead and drop onto your knees, opening them wide on your mat. Hinge back into your child's pose. Keep your elbows up off the mat. Your arms are in traction, so you're kind of gripping in, still sliding those shoulder blades down. All right, and then let's come to our hands and knees. Going to go through some cat-cow. So our first exercise today is going to be a thruster. It's a single arm thruster. So you're going to use power and momentum through the legs, the glutes, and the back to get a heavy dumbbell from the ground up overhead. So it'll be kind of a little draw using the back to engage to pull the weight and then press overhead. So if you haven't done these before, just start light or maybe even go through the range of motion. And remember that you must set in through the glutes and the back and the core in order to get the movement done. All right, one more. Cow and then cat. And then let's let our hips shift left and right. So we're going to go straight into a big power move. I am going to use a 30-pound dumbbell for the thrusters, and then I have 25 pounds on the ready and for some lighter moves, and a 35-pound kettlebell. So if you don't have a kettlebell, feel free to use your dumbbell. For our swings, you would just grab your bell around the end and work from there. Just like that. All right, so as we're getting ready for each exercise, I'm going to give you just a little precursor, a little explanation. If you're ready to go, hit it straight up, feel free, or hit some, body weight squats or hold a plank or something like that while I am explaining. Okay, so for our thruster, as I was saying, you're going to use a lot of power and momentum from the legs, the core, and the back. So 30 pounds is heavy for me. It's a little bit just on the edge. Hopefully I can get all 8 of my thrusters. So the reason that I want to push my weight and my effort level is because it really forces me to have to use the momentum required in the move to get the weight all the way up there. So you hinge over the legs, and feel free to do this with no weight to kind of get the idea going. Grab deep into the core. So you're going to hinge forward, pushing your hips back. You're going to grab that weight, pack into the back, and then you're going to thrust through the glutes, the core, and the upper back so that the weight pops and stacks right overhead. You want to think about your stance at the top of the move, heels, hips, shoulders, pack in through the core, pack in through the back. All right, So here we go. We're going to hit up 8 each side. I'm going to start on the left side as my weaker side and see how it goes. All right, grab deep into that core. Remember, our goal today is power. So you got to use power from the legs, the back, and the core. You have to get that momentum. 4, 5, no work coming through the neck. Here's 8. Perfect. Whew, feels good. All right. Power's fun. Here we go. Ready, set. Other arm. Other side. Level off those hips. 4. Pack into that back. 7. 8. Whew. All right. Interestingly enough, sometimes you feel the work done better on the weaker side because you can't just use the strength, that brute strength in the back or the shoulders. You have to use that momentum. All right. I'm feeling that. Hope you are too. Okay, so we're going to do a runner sit-up. We're going to go 5 on one side, 5 on the other, just 10 total. But we really want to think of this as a power sit-up, so you're going to build some oomph behind, okay? So you're going to roll back as far as you can. If rolling all the way back doesn't work for you, don't worry about it. Just roll as far as you can, and then your power tuck is going to come in the knee to elbow. So almost like when you're standing and you're doing like a knee jog, that's what we want to feel like we're doing from the ground. So pretend like you're pulling on a band, front and back. Ready, set, push that low back in. 1, 2, get that extra little, and 5, other side. All right, working that side to side. Feel the core set in. Super good. All right, back into an 8 rep set. We're going to do a clean and press. All right, so we're going to be hinging over the legs. I'm going to have my 2 25s for this one. If you have access to a bar, that would be super fun to use, and this would be a great opportunity to grab that as well. So clean and press. You're going to start by dipping forward, that hinge just a bit. Again, a clean is pulling your elbows wide. Elbows come wide, hands come up in front, and then you're going to flip your hands, sit into a little bit in the legs, punch up overhead, absorb your weights, elbows flip, and then you drop back down. So because they're heavy, you have to use a little bit of the momentum, power from the legs, core, back. Just like with our thruster, at the top, you want that super solid line of strength. Heels, hips, lots and lots and lots of core grab, shoulders, and then up through those arms, okay? So we're going to go for 8. If you don't press overhead, you can just go through whatever motion you can. You can get your clean, or you can also get a little jerk here, but then not do the press. That's totally fine. Or you can sit with a squat. Hold your goblet and hit your squat from there. All right, belly locks in, shoulder blades back and down. Here we go. 1. Remember, we want power. Power comes here. Lots of core support, your low back. 7, 8. Whew. Nice job. Should need a little recovery. We're going to do a deep jump squat. So you're going to squat nice and deep. Use your arms to get as high as you can. We're only doing 5. So you should really get a lot of momentum, a lot of power, a lot of drive, getting your body as high off the ground as possible. So you're going to swing the arms, sink as low as you can, and then jump. Land in your squat. If you don't jump, don't worry about it. Just do the whole power move without the jump. All right, here we go for 5. Land, wind up, jump. 4, 5. All right, on our back, we're going to do a punch, alternating punch from the floor. We'll have some extra support from the ground. I'm going to shoot for 8 each arm. Again, trying to find that power. Alternating side to side. I'm going to lock my low back in toward the ground, pressing that core flexed and locked all the way around. So your elbows are going to stay pretty tight to the body. Slide your shoulder blades back and down. Even though you're lying on them, you still want to roll those shoulder blades back. Here we go. Punch. 1, 2, 3. Find the power. 4. Find the breath behind the move. 8. All right, next up we have another runner sit-up. So start seated. We're going to go 5 on one side, 5 on the other. Roll back. 1, 2. Locking around that core. Other side. It's like when you're at the ground, really setting in, flexing in, and then charging, hitting that power through the flexion of the core. All right, we're going into our kettlebell swings. My goal is 30 swings. I'm going to grab my 35-pound, depending on what you have access to, depending on how the body's feeling, then you might need to do less reps. That's totally fine. Regardless of what weight you're going to be swinging, please wind up as if you have a super heavy bell. So the bell should be pretty far away from you, supporting the function and form of getting your body set into the right range of motion and right positioning for that very first swing. So you're locking across that core, hips are hinging back. You get that first initial swing, and then you got to thrust through the hamstrings, the glutes, to get that pop forward, okay? So I see people get really worried about their low back, so they swing like this. They swing, hinge, or maybe even squat, and then they stop here. That's putting a lot of load on your low back. Anytime you hinge, that's pressure on the low back. We use our core to support that hinge, but we want to get that full lock in, glutes tucked, hip flexors open. Envision like you're trying to jump, like we just did with our deep jump squats at the very top of the jump. So we swung in, we exploded, you felt your quads, your glutes, your core, and that upper back, because you're trying to get as high as possible, high as physically possible. All right, so we're going to go for 30. Hinge the butt back, your back's flat, and then use those legs and glutes and core and breath. Think powerful thoughts. Pack into the back. Feel the hamstrings lengthen, and the glutes are what's catching. 28. Set it down the same way you picked it up. Whew. And you're there. All right. We have lunge jumps, and then one more runner sit-up. And we're through our first set. All right, your lunge jumps. If you don't jump, just lunge. Basically, we're going to set up a lunge position and then jump up off the ground and land right back into that lunge. 5 each side. Use your arms just like we did with our deep jump to get the momentum. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Stay locked into that core. 4, 5. All right, 5 each side. Find that power. Roll back. Other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So depending on what weight selection that you have, just a quick reminder, you can definitely go more reps. Power also equals intensity. Each exercise should be requiring some power push and drive behind it. All right, thrusters first, so single thrusters. Here we go. Pack into that back, use the momentum. 8 each side. 3, 2 more. 8. 1, 2, 3. You got to use the back core. Momentum. 7, 8. Use your foundational powerhouse, glutes and core. And then hopefully you were able to go through our last series where we really worked on the upper back as foundational strength for the extremities, the upper extremities. Whee. All right, runners, here we go. All right, clean and press. Keep that pack in, shoulder blades down. Use your glutes, your core, upper back to get the clean. And then that press, 8 reps. 2, nice big pack at the top. Last few reps should get tough. All right, our deep jumps for 5. Wind up those arms. cross punches. Not a cross punch, an alternating punch. Sorry about that. All right, I'm going to try a glute bridge this time. Feel free, keep that low back on the ground. Stay locked in through the core. Stabilize there. I have to watch my shoulder on these. I'm sure I've told you, but I want to make sure I do because, you know, there's little things that we all have to watch out for. If you don't dial it in and keep track of what tendencies are, that's where injuries or pain or ailments, it's where they come from later. All right, so find that glute bridge. Remember, we're not over pressing through the low back. Here we go. We're getting that punch, that alternating punch, push with power. Ready, set. 1. Keep your hand right over that elbow. 7, 8. Good work, good work. All right, what have we got? Oh, our runner. Tighten that core. Find the burn where you want it. 4, 5. Make sure you're getting that full twist. Okay. Kettlebell swings. 30 felt good last time. It was work. It was good. Butt back. Make sure your back's flat. You want the swing to happen above your knees after that initial one. So you're not squatting, you're hinging. Make sure you're using momentum. Lots of core. 23. Use the back. Support those shoulders. 8, 29, 30. Stacking hips over heels without over pressing. That's where those glutes and core, finding that connection. We work it from the ground with those focused glute bridges. You can have that. You'll be fine. You'll get it done right. All right. Whew. Let's bring on those lunge jumps. Wire up with your hands, those arms. Square off those hips still. One more runner. Other side. Two sets. Super good. We have a teeny bit of time. I think we should go back through our weighted rounds at half reps. Hold on to that power. Hold on to that intensity. Stay safe, stay healthy. If you're done, you're done. That's totally fine. We're going to go 5 per side of our thrusters. 3, 4, 5. Think kind of like a slingshot. Wind up. 4, 5. Keep track. That pelvis. Clean and press. Lots of deep breathing and fatigue. You lose your core, so make sure that doesn't happen. Stay focused and flex. Here we go. 1, 2. Grab with it back. 3. Push with those legs. 4, 5. Yes. All right, alternating press. 5 each side. Hips up or down, your choice. 1. Find the power, intensity. 4, 5. Then our swing, 15 reps, and then we'll stretch. Good job, good job. Remember, pack in, back, glutes, focus that power. Always strong, tight through the core. 5, 4. Winding up for the legs, hamstrings, glutes. Get the momentum to push. All right, we're going to start on our backs, and then we'll flip over and get our pigeon. Nice job. That felt good. Felt power and intensity, but no low back strain, pain. All right, put your right foot on the ground. Extend your left leg long. Try to get all the bend out of the back of the knee. So interlace your hands behind your thigh or behind your calf. Those are the types, though, you don't get like a ton of reps done. You have to allow yourself to recover. All right, switch. We had our big rep day a couple days ago, that muscular endurance day. We'll be doing more of those. Feeling that hamstring. All right, rock and roll your way up to seated. I'm going to have us extend one leg out at an angle, left leg out at an angle. Pull your right foot in to the groin, the inner thigh on the other side. Bring both arms up. So just like we did with our last session where we had to lift up out of the low back for our forward fold. Same thing, but now we're going to rotate over your extended leg and reach. Once you're there, so I'm reaching to my left, rock the outside of that right hip, that right butt cheek into the ground. You should feel a nice pull and grab through that low back and your lats. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Right leg out, left foot in, bring both arms up, toe pulls up, rotate over that leg, and extend. So these kinds of days, these power days, so high intensity but with weight, they should be really big ROI days, big return on investment days, because you're building muscle, you're building strength while also upping that heart rate. So keep that in mind when you need just a buster of a day. Oh, all right, let's flip it over and we're going to go into our pigeons. So start with bringing your right leg forward. You're going to get a little hip flexor first. Open that hip flexor. Should have felt these in a lot of, like the clean and press, your thruster, and then really the kettlebell swings. They're big hip flexor opener exercises. Okay, cross that foot over. Anti kind of sitting exercises. So it's kind of interesting because while on the one hand, a lot of times I get complaints that people don't want to do deadlifts or kettlebell swings because it hurts their low back. They are actually exercises shown to benefit your low back, to decrease pain, tightness, and sensitivity there because they build glute strength and open the hip flexors. However, once you've gotten hurt on them once, it's difficult to kind of get that worry out of your mind. Let's see, make sure my hips aren't rocking. So stay in touch. You can look up tutorials. There's a bazillion of them on YouTube, the wonderful world of YouTube, or we can talk about it. But I would not scratch those from your inventory of exercises just yet. Sometimes, all right, let's switch it up. We're going to get hip flexor other side. Sometimes you need to scratch an exercise. It's not good for your body, your mechanics, the way that your makeup is. Get that hip flexor stretch. Maybe reach your arm. Running is not good for everyone. Maybe deadlifting is not good for everyone. There might be a herniated disc or something that you're working through. Okay, take that foot across. I'm trying to get my shin just a little more parallel to the front of the mat, but you can keep your foot back toward that back hip, wherever you're ready for. I definitely need to watch my hips though. Keep that pelvis squared off. Check in. But my point is, try not to scratch anything until you're for sure you have all the little pieces in place. And if it still doesn't fit, then maybe, it's not a good exercise for you. And we can find a really great alternate exercise. So please utilize me and my knowledge. Keeps me on my toes. It keeps me fresh. It keeps me aware of what's going on. So I'm more motivated when I know how to fix things or how to adjust things to help everyone. That's a super fun, exciting thing about personal training and physical fitness is everyone is a beautiful, own, unique piece. Not everybody does everything the same. Your swing might look just a little different, but as long as it's not pulling your low back and building in the same way, then it's perfect. All right, we're going to go into a child's pose real quick just to finish up. This is a good restorative pose for anything. Trying to get that forehead on the ground. Reach your arms out in front, but you can let your elbows touch the ground and relax. So just take 3 deep breaths. All right. And go ahead and come up. After a high intensity day like that, power, want to just give the body and central nervous system a second to settle back down. All right, 1 week done through build. Thank you all so much for the start. Let's have a wonderful rest of our session. I lost my train of thought there. All right, I'll see you soon.